There's been something unusual going on in a whole lot of Major League Baseball stadiums this season. And it isn't baseball. At least, not exactly. It's banana ball. And if you've never heard of it, get ready for something, well, bananas. As we first reported this spring, it's a classic against the odds story. It started with a scrappy college summer league baseball team in Savannah, Georgia, lovingly named the Savannah Bananas, with an unorthodox owner who dreamed of making America's pastime livelier and more fun, with dancing players, trick plays, and nonstop entertainment for the fans. Think Harlem Globetrotters, only more so. Take a look.
Now Dan Ober. That one chopped up the middle.
It looks like baseball.
As DR takes off for second.
And feels like baseball. But then there's this. An umpire feeling the music? A batter on, stilts? Gymnastics in the outfield.
Catches the ball, are you kidding me?
And on the way home.
The Bananas have won the inning!
Banana Ball is the creation of Jesse Cole, who dresses in banana yellow daily.
Got those hands, here we go.
He's the owner and ringmaster of this circus.
It's not baseball. Or is it baseball?
Obviously, it started from the idea of baseball, but now let's just turn it up a little bit.
Turning it up a little bit, Savannah Banana style, means the show starts hours before the game, with fans and players dancing outside before the doors open. Then on the field, gymnasts, the Banana Splits, a dance team made up of grandmas, the Banana Nanas, and instead of cheerleaders, these guys, the Man Nanas.
It's all intentional. So this is the script.
You have a script?
There's almost 50 things that happen before the game starts.
The idea is to have something entertaining for everyone, like the 6-year-old leading a crowd warm-up, to appeal to all ages, baseball fans or not.
How long in the car? 10 hours. You drove here for 10 hours?
The game itself, between the Bananas and their main banana ball rivals, the Party Animals, also owned by Cole, is a real baseball competition with some rule twists. There's a 2-hour time limit, no mound visits, no walks or bunts, and if a fan catches a foul ball, it's an out.
What a snag by that guy!
Trick plays like between-the-leg throws to make an out and backflip catches are encouraged. And a few times a game, players go to bat with lip-synced, choreographed productions like this one featuring infielder Jackson Olsen. Longtime baseball writer Tim Kirchin came to a game and he said, "This is the stupidest thing I have ever seen. I loved it."
So grateful he finished with the I love it.
Exactly, right. But, there are people who would be offended that you're changing baseball.
I believe if you're not getting criticized, you're playing it too safe.
Safe isn't Jesse Cole's style. His early dreams of playing for his hometown Red Sox ended with a shoulder injury in college that sent him into coaching and a discovery he wasn't expecting.
I'm sitting in the dugout and I realize something. I'm bored out of my mind. And if I'm bored, there's got to be other people that are probably bored with baseball as well.
He got a job managing a failing college summer league team in Gastonia, North Carolina, called the Grizzlies, where he started shaking things up with dancing and silliness.
The first time I saw Jesse, he's the general manager of the team, keep in mind.
Emily McDonald was working for a minor league team in Augusta at the time.
He is on the field teaching his players how to do the Thriller dance.
So you got to get the arms into it, you got to get the head.
You said, "Oh, that guy's for me."
But we
Right
nailed
away.
that dance. We nailed that dance.
Emily joined the Grizzlies, and 3 years later,
Will you make me the luckiest guy in the world? Will you marry me, Emily?
joined Jesse permanently. And yes, he was already wearing that yellow tux, inspired by his idols, showmen P.T. Barnum and Walt Disney.
It's something I believe in. It's standing out, it's being different. And if your owner is dressed up in a yellow tuxedo, I mean, I think that gives permission to everyone else to not take themselves too seriously, to have fun.
Were you able to turn the Grizzlies around?
Yeah, from the team that was probably worst in the country in attendance, we climbed up to be 4th in the country in attendance.
But what about playing?
Oh, we won championships. When you have fun, you play better.
In 2015, the Newlyweds launched the Bananas as a new college summer league team in Savannah, building fans with all-you-can-eat food and always upping the fun. They won titles, but something kept gnawing at Jesse. Some fans were leaving the stadium before the game was over.
Even with everything going on?
It was eating me up inside, but then I realized that means there's a fundamental problem with the actual game.
He began videotaping the crowd and studying.
When are fans looking at their phones? When are they not paying attention to the game? Mound visits, batters stepping out, taking forever. All right, if you step out.
Oh, I hate that.
Yes.
And they play with their gloves.
And so we said, what are all the normal rules of a baseball game? What would be the exact opposite?
He started dreaming up ideas for a faster, more exciting game.
Think about this. In a baseball game, there's a play called a walk. It's unathletic. It's called a walk. So we said, what would be the exact opposite? A sprint.
And so was born the ball four sprint, where the batter takes off and can't be tagged out until every fielder has touched the ball.
He's going to be rewarded with 2 bases.
So now a walk becomes one of the most exciting plays in sports.
Bang, bang.
And then what about bunting? Now I know this is controversial, but if you bunt in banana ball, you're thrown out of the game.
What's wrong with bunting?
There's no bunting.
I like bunting.
Some traditionalists do. When I came up to the plate the first time as a 5-year-old, my dad said, Jess, swing hard in case you hit. And I believe in baseball, banana ball, come up and swing the bat, try to create something really special instead of the bunt.
So that first tryout,
Coaches Tyler Gillum and Adam Virant helped create the new game and recruit players to try it out.
You were looking for really strong baseball players.
exclusively.
I was pushing a wheelbarrow full of concrete and my phone went off, and it was my mama.
Dakota Albritton had played high school baseball in his Georgia hometown, then got a job in construction.
She said, hey, we got a baseball tryout this weekend. I said, why'd you do that? You know, I ain't played ball in 2 years. She said, well, I told them you could walk on stilts. And with me not having any knowledge on what the Bananas was, I asked her again, well, why'd you do that? I hadn't done that in 10 years.
You hadn't walked on stilts in 10 years?
I had not walked on stilts in 10 years.
They'd been a Christmas present when he was 10.
As a matter of fact, on the way to tryouts, I realized that the straps that held them on my legs were dry rotted, and we stopped by Tractor Supply and got dog collars. That were, they were held on my leg by dog collars.
He had played high school baseball, not the highest level, and he probably wasn't going to make the team. He said, I brought my stilts. Do you want me to wear them? And I said, nah, unless you can hit in them.
I said, heck yeah, I can. I got up there.
You had no idea.
I had no idea I could do it, but I wasn't going to back down from a challenge.
And the entire tryout stops.
I wonder why.
It's dead quiet.
Did you hit the ball?
I did. I surprised myself just as much as I surprised everybody else.
The coaches were still going to cut him till Jesse intervened.
Jesse says, guys, you don't see the vision. The vision is things being done on a baseball field nobody has ever seen.
Other players, like Robert Anthony Cruz, Rack for short, joined the Bananas with stronger credentials. He'd been signed by the Washington Nationals. This video of him sharing the news with his dad.
Oh my God, congratulations, son.
Went viral. But as with so many players,
1 year later, I got released by the Nationals, and my wife and I moved back in with my parents.
Bananas players told us they'd all dreamed of playing in the major leagues.
Raise your hand.
Yeah.
When baseball didn't work, did you all think you were done?
Yeah, big
100%.
time.
They say banana ball is a second life. They're still practicing that old game, plus one-upping each other on cool tricks and smooth moves. That elaborate batter walk-up routine, also part of afternoon practice.
Like literally like 4 hours before.
Oh my God.
Yes!
So in the middle of the afternoon, they are learning a dance for that night for the first time.
I mean, players, the talent level, they learn a tremendous amount of steps for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes rehearsal, and then they're doing it in front of a sold-out crowd.
And sometimes practicing in front of the crowd.
remember looking at you and you were doing the dance too. You were trying to learn it. Like we're all trying to learn this stuff during the game.
Fresh.
Banana ball players have full-year contracts and are paid significantly more than most minor leaguers. Their salaries have risen every year, as has their fan base. This was the home stadium of the Philadelphia Phillies on a Saturday night last September. A completely sold-out, standing room-only crowd of 45,000. It was one of 6 Major League Baseball stadiums the Bananas sold out last season, including Fenway Park. With clips of dances like this going viral, the Bananas now have more TikTok followers than all 12 of last year's MLB playoff teams combined. As in Savannah, crowds gather hours early. Banana Ball is now a multi-million-dollar private business. Jesse turns away investors. To build fans, he reinvests. He keeps ticket prices low, $60 max, and broadcasts all games free on YouTube.
What's up, guys?
Playing in an MLB stadium, players told us, is thrilling, even for someone already 10 feet tall.
Just this section right here is big as my whole entire hometown.
Stilts told us he'd be pitching this game.
Do you really throw strikes?
Oh, absolutely. It coming straight down like that, they got to hit it just perfect. Are they going to ground out or pop up?
Now coming to
And sure enough,
the world's tallest pitcher.
in the top of the 6th, facing the Party Animals version of a switch hitter,
He's going to show off his switch hitting skills.
there was one of those strikes.
Now a 3-2 count.
With the pressure on,
Bouncer grabbed 360. Olsen bounces it to first.
he got the 3rd out.
Stilts continues to shine.
Then in the bottom of the 7th, with the runner on first and the Bananas down by 1, Jackson Olsen took off on a ball 4 sprint. Then, with men on the corners, the former National signee, Rack, was up.
Uh-oh, Robert Anthony Cruz. See you later.
A 3-run homer. As far as we could see, nobody left early. This season, Banana Ball has officially become a league with 2 more teams. And they'll play not just at 17 MLB stadiums, but at 3 NFL football stadiums as well.
Will you fill those stadiums
They're sold out.
already?
It's crazy.
All of it's crazy.
Some might even say bananas.
For years, mezcal sat in the shadow of its popular cousin tequila, known for its worm and deemed too smoky for a spot on the same shelf as premium spirits. But not anymore. Once banned and later sold in plastic jugs for pennies, the handcrafted spirit has found its way into cocktail bars and Michelin-starred restaurants. As we first told you last fall, no other liquor has seen a greater increase in production in the past decade. Mezcal gets its name from the Aztec word for cooked agave, a thorny plant sacred to Mexico for thousands of years. The vast majority of mezcal is made in the southern state of Oaxaca, where family-owned distilleries dot the landscape. We went to meet the Mezcaleros as they labor to quench the world's thirst for mezcal. Mezcaleros harvest agave year-round, but it's no low-hanging fruit. Pried from the earth, the spikes are removed by machete, revealing the heart, the piña, which looks like a 100-pound pineapple. Agave takes its sweet time to ripen, up to 30 years for some varieties. It grows in the valleys that run between the Sierra Madre Mountains, here in Oaxaca. The crossroads of indigenous and Spanish colonial cultures, the birthplace of mezcal. And Santiago Matatlan is its cradle. The Hernandez brothers, Armando and Alvaro, are fourth-generation mezcaleros from an indigenous Zapotec family. They learned the craft from their father, Silverio. Today they run Mal de Amor, one of Matatlan's largest distilleries, or palenques.
Nosotros hacemos el mezcal sin prisa.
We make mezcal without hurry, meaning everything in its time.
No metemos nada.
We don't add or do anything to speed up production, but we make it nonstop, 365 days a year, the entire day.
Is it different from the way your father made it?
No,
No, it's the same.
Todo, la tradición, lo que...
We conserve all the traditions, everything we were taught, and everything is done by hand.
Agave was first distilled here in the 1600s. Mexicans have been drinking mezcal at baptisms, funerals, and every occasion in between ever since. And let's clear this up early. Tequila is a type of mezcal, made with blue agave, mostly in the state of Jalisco. But most tequila has been mass-produced, made by machines since the 70s. Artisanal mezcal resists machinery. The agave is roasted in underground pits for days. Then it's crushed by horse-drawn mill. The mash is fermented in wooden barrels and distilled twice in copper vats. No temperature dials or controls. Bubbles indicate the alcohol content.
Who knows more about the process?
Él conoce más.
I think he may know more,
Yo puedo tomar más.
but I drink it more.
At Mal de Amor, they offer Napa-style tours of their agave fields. Mezcal is now a $500 million a year industry. But in the 1980s and 90s, Armando and Alvaro told us production of mezcal could barely support the family.
El precio del maguey.
The price of mezcal was very low. It was miserable.
What was it?
7 pesos un litro de mezcal.
7 pesos for a liter of mezcal.
Less than $1.
Entonces, nosotros fuimos 10 hijos.
And we were 10 children. Sunday was the only day we could afford a cup of milk and a piece of bread.
No, vámonos.
So we decided to go.
Armando left Mexico first, alone, bound for California.
Do you remember the day you left?
Sí, 3 de diciembre.
Yes. It was the 3rd of December, 1992. I was 12 years old.
Yo ahorita tengo hijos y no.
I have children of my own now, and I could never bring myself to let them cross the border alone. It was a sad goodbye.
Duele mucho dejar a la...
Very painful to leave the family behind.
How did you get there?
Como todo migrante.
Con un coyote.
Con un coyote.
Like all migrants, with a coyote, smuggled across the border.
Alvaro eventually joined him in Los Angeles. They spent a decade working in bars and restaurants. When the plot twisted, artisanal became hip, and mezcal's popularity boomed. Alvaro began to dream about returning to the family business.
Ya cuando demostraba...
I had plans drawn up for the palenque, and I showed Armando.
Álvaro llegaba con un plano de su palenque.
Alvaro came in with the plan for his palenque, and he spread it on the bed and said, I'm going to do this.
Oye, Álvaro, estás loco.
And I told him, you're crazy. How are you going to make a living?
Armando was skeptical until he noticed shots of mezcal going for $10 each. He says he looked down at the label on a bottle one day, and it was from their hometown.
And you finally told your brother, I told you so.
Te dije, tonto.
So Armando and Alvaro went back home to ramp up the family palenque. Enter Jon Wertheim and Gilberto Marquez of the mezcal brand Ilegal, made from 100% espadín, a variety of agave that ripens the fastest.
So how far out does the Ilegal agave go? I mean, is this all Ilegal?
Yeah, there's about 2,500 plants per acre. There's about 5 acres out here.
This is a lot of espadín, right?
Today, Ilegal is one of the top-selling mezcal brands. But it too started humbly. Rexer, an expat New Yorker, was in search of a steady supply of mezcal to serve at a bar he owned in Guatemala.
I would take a bus up from Guatemala. It's a 24-hour bus ride. Along the way, you can pull a string in that bus and say, I want to stop here. Walk to a village, wait until lights came on somewhere and say, hey, do you know anybody who makes good mezcal around here? And invariably, someone would have an uncle, a brother, a cousin.
Tengo un tío.
Tengo un tío. See, yeah, that's exactly it.
Everybody has an uncle.
As the name on the bottle suggests, Rexer's operation wasn't exactly legal.
Is it true that you once dressed like a priest to have to get this across a border?
Listen, I went through 12 years of Catholic school.
Me too.
I knew how to play the role.
It was his friend, Gilberto Marquez, who introduced him to the Hernandez brothers.
And we rolled down here, and it was very, very, very tiny, and they were making very small amounts.
Me dice, ¿tienes más de este mezcal? Digo, sí.
And he asks me, do you have more of this mezcal? And we said, yes. We have 10,000 liters, and it took us like 2 years to make.
Y nos dice Jon, lo quiero todo.
And Jon says to us, I want it all.
A sidebar, and this may go without saying, but Rexer has swigged his fair share of mezcal.
Excuse me.
Do you want a water? Yeah, no, take a break, you're good. She's like, do I want a water?
There's an expression, the best mezcal is the one in front of you. It's not entirely true. You don't want to cover it in smoke. You want to taste the agave.
A lot of people say they don't like mezcal because of the smoke.
Obviously, you're in a smoky environment, right? When you dig up the pit oven, there's smoke everywhere. So there's a lot of early mezcals that came into the States that are heavy smoked.
Has mezcal gotten a bad rap on that front?
I think in the early days it did, but people began to discover, no, the agaves have particular unique flavors.
Rexer asked brothers Armando and Alvaro to go into business, and he made a promise. If they could produce the mezcal, he'd sell it around the world. They'd been burned by false promises before, so they weighed his offer in their native language.
You spoke in Zapotec so he wouldn't understand?
Yo le decía a Álvaro, en Zapotec.
I said to Alvaro in Zapotec, do you believe him? And he said, I don't know.
Pues vamos a ver.
But we figured, let's see.
I said, listen, I'll pay you up front so that we can get started.
2 días después teníamos el depósito.
2 days later, we had the deposit in our account for all 10,000 liters. He said, each month I'll keep making deposits. So we made more, 500 liters, 1,000, 2,000, and it grew like that.
Now their partnership produces 3,000 bottles of mezcal a day, almost all of them for export. And every bottle is certified by the Mexican government, stamped with a hologram to mark denomination of origin, like champagne or cognac. We'd heard there are rules about how to drink this artisanal mezcal. The good stuff isn't for shots or diluting in cocktails. It's for sipping. So we asked Marquez, the former bartender who now promotes Ilegal.
Favorite way to drink it?
Spicy margarita.
Oh, wait a second. I thought you weren't supposed to drink mezcal in a margarita.
You do want to enjoy mezcal neat, but there's nothing wrong with having it in a cocktail, especially if we're trying to get folks to try it for the first time. It's an introduction to mezcal.
Marquez poured us a joven, the colorless mezcal you'll find in most bottles.
This is 100% espadín.
So joven means young.
Joven means young, unaged.
Salud.
Salud.
This one tastes spicy to me.
So smoke is not the first thing that you taste?
It's definitely there, but I would not call this smoky.
Yes.
Aging mezcal is a Mexican tradition. Ilegal does it in American oak, the same way bourbon is made.
So this is the añejo, and this is aged 15 months.
Color's definitely darker.
Yep.
Wow, so good. How would you drink this one?
Absolutely neat, 100%.
Has anyone ever said to you, hey, what's a gringo like you doing
In a place
selling
like this?
Oaxaca,
Yeah.
Oaxacan mezcal?
Yes, I've gotten pushback over the years, you're a foreigner. But I'm someone who fell in love with the rhythm and the pace of Oaxaca and fell in love with mezcal.
He's no longer the only foreigner in this partnership. Bacardi, the largest privately held global spirits company, acquired Ilegal last year in a deal worth a reported $100 million.
When we started to grow the brand, one of the questions I asked myself was, how do you fall in love with something and then not destroy the thing you fell in love with by making it grow?
Can you do that with an international conglomerate like Bacardi?
I think it's a great question because it's not just the beautiful liquor, but it's certain things that we're trying to preserve and believe in. This is a family business. We have to respect the artisanal production. We can never let this become industrial.
What does the deal with Bacardi mean for you?
Pues lo que va a cambiar es la vida de muchos.
What's going to change is many people's lives in this community.
Es un beneficio a la comunidad.
It's a benefit for the whole community.
The Palenque now employs 100 people from Matatlan and beyond, including their 87-year-old father, the Mezcalero Emeritus. Armando and Alvaro translated from Zapotec to Spanish. We asked what Senor Hernandez thought of his son's mezcal.
Does it live up to the family name? See?
That's why I drink it. If not, I wouldn't drink it.
The Hernandez brothers are expanding the family palenque. Construction is already underway.
So if there's the American dream, is this the Mexican dream?
Sueño mexicano. Sueño mexicano.
It's the Mexican dream. It's something we never imagined.
We're sad to report Silverio Hernandez, patriarch of the Hernandez family, died in March. His sons say his legacy will live on in every drop of their mezcal.
The idea that this country has become one big, bland, conformist culture, the United States of Generica, well, if you're in search of a counterpoint, hang out as we did in the marshy interior of southern Louisiana. You need no passport to enter Cajun country, but it's an exotic land like nowhere else, home to a cuisine, a language, a landscape, even a pacing all its own. And then there's the singular sound. Cajun music and its cousin from across the way, Zydeco, resists easy description. But it is intoxicatingly catchy, often sung in French, and as we first reported earlier this year, enjoying a most unlikely renaissance. The sun is out and living is easy on the bayous of Louisiana. The fish are jumping, those are carp, and the cypress trees grow high. On dry land, the music hangs in the humidity. In Eunice, Louisiana, the Savoie family has lived on this patch of land for 8 generations. Music is often a family inheritance down here, and you can think of the Savoies as the Von Trapp clan of Cajun country, Acadiana as it's known. Joel is a Grammy-winning producer and musician, often accompanied by his brother Wilson, also a Grammy winner. Their father Mark, an accordion maker by day, is a prominent musician in his own right, as is their mother Anne, who once recorded with Linda Ronstadt. What defines the Cajun sound?
Typically, Cajun music has Cajun accordion, fiddle, sung in Cajun French. They play two-step and waltzes. It's got a very unique rhythm, very syncopated rhythm that you don't hear in a lot of other kinds of music. It's the syncopation that drives the music.
And it has a hauntingness about it, the music. And it's just got soul, you know?
These sounds are sourced from the unique blend of people that converged on Cajun country over the centuries.
Music is obviously born out of this swirl of different cultures. The accordion arrived with some part of the population. Fiddle arrived with different part of the population. The syncopation comes from people that we encountered here, the African Americans, the Creoles, the Spanish, things like that. It's also a social music. You know, anytime there's music, there's somebody hanging out, somebody cooking. These things just are part of life. It's always inclusive. Maybe you'll dance a few times, who knows?
As we saw, when the sun sets in Acadiana, the volume turns way up. This music is the soundtrack in dive bars, in nightclubs, in the old French salle de danse, dance halls that stud this landscape. And while it's not topping Billboard charts, the music is experiencing a resurgence as young audiences two-step once again to those accordions, fiddles, and washboards.
You say Louisiana, the first thing that can come out of their mind is, how's New Orleans? I'm like, I don't know. I don't live in New Orleans. I live in Southwest Louisiana.
Totally different sound.
A totally different sound.
Chubby Carrier is a Grammy-winning accordionist from Church Point, Louisiana. He tours with his group, the Bayou Swamp Band. Chubby Zydeco is a relative of Cajun music, born out of the French-speaking Black Creole community.
One time, this couple came and goes, honey, you gotta come see this. That's a black gentleman with an accordion in his hand. I wonder if you play poker, honey.
Oh, polka.
Poker.
Oh.
You had a surprise for him.
Oh my goodness, and I seen that, and they came back, and when I seen them sitting there, and I said, watch this.
It's time to dance with me tonight, y'all.
I started playing my songs, and she started looking over to her husband and going, wow, this is great. She's just doing this.
She thought she was coming for Lawrence Welk. And she
Something
got
like
you.
that.
Jordan Thibodeau is the frontman of the touring band Les Roudeurs.
It's just the sounds of our community. And I think that just buries into your heart when you're little.
And it's not some hipster, ironic thing.
No.
It's
Most of the people that be at these kind of dances are as far removed from a hipster as you could possibly imagine.
Jordan is Cajun music's equivalent of a rock star. And through his music, he's become something of a global ambassador for Cajun country and its way of life.
You've a saying, you say a lot, that's in some of your song lyrics. You want to tell us what it is?
Tu vis ta culture ou tu tues ta culture, il n'y a pas de milieu. It means you either live your culture or you kill your culture. And there's no in between.
What do you mean?
You see this vanishing of cultures, of dialects, of everything to just create this one generic human, you know? And it's really sad to me. So I'm gonna get up every day and I'm gonna live my culture today. I think it's every individual's responsibility to maintain who they are as a people.
Time was, Louisiana French could be heard on every street corner, both in Cajun and Creole communities. Jordan learned French from his grandmother. But today, the language is dwindling as the march of Americanization proceeds.
Imagine still being home and saying, oh, I miss home. It's a very hard feeling to convey.
I wonder if the language is diminishing, the Cajun music becomes that much more important as this transmitter of
without
culture.
a doubt. Without a doubt. There are countless kids who are learning the language just from the music.
The Cajun story starts in Nova Scotia, where this French-speaking people led a peaceful life until they didn't. In the middle of the 1700s, the conquering British kicked out the Acadians, shortened to Cajuns. Expelled, they found an improbable home amid the backwaters of French Louisiana, from the craggy North Atlantic to the delta and bayous of the Atchafalaya Basin, the largest swamp in North America. Jordan gave us a tour of the land that shaped his Cajun ancestors. They adapted to survive and then thrive in this new and sometimes hostile environment.
Did I hear right? You learned to swim in this water?
Yeah. Oh,
What
yeah.
happens?
My mama, they would take the kids, they'd put us in a life jacket and throw us out the boat to go swim so they could fish in peace, you know? And she'd make the turn if you'd see an alligator. Mama, they got an alligator. You can see him? Yes, ma'am. Then it's fine. If you can't see him no more, let me know.
The Cajuns didn't come with much, but they did bring their old French melodies.
We sing a lot fishing. When we sit and fish, me and my little girl, my youngest, she likes to sit and sing. So while we're fishing, she sings to the fish to get them to come.
Long as he brought up fish, well, there's an unwritten rule in Cajun country. You can't have the music without the food. Joel Savoie and his family invited us into their kitchen.
We're cooking some shrimp étouffée. Étouffée is a French word that means smothered. So we smothered them.
Where'd you learn? From your
From my
folks?
father, yeah. A lot of people say, what's the recipe? I said, I don't know what the recipe is.
New York, you can go into a Michelin star restaurant and they've got étouffée and gumbo.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
Not the same.
They don't know what they're doing. I proposed a toast to my grandmother who lived in this house, and with her lack of gentility, she would always say, arrête de baduler, assis-toi puis allons parler. Quit your babbling, sit down, and let's stuff ourselves.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
The music, the food, the drink, the bon temps, the good times, these traditions braid all the communities here, but with slight twists.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Chubby Carrier's father and grandfather were sharecroppers who played music at night. He showed us the difference between the blues-heavy Zydeco he grew up with and the more country-infused Cajun sound.
So I took one of my grandfather's songs. Now you see, I did all my Zydeco. That's a Zydeco song. Now watch your waltz. Take it to the Cajun. You hear that? Then now take that same song and then speed it up. It's gonna turn into a Zydeco song. Whoa, all in one, brother.
Though entwined musically for decades, the black Zydeco and the white Cajun scenes couldn't mingle much in the Jim Crow Deep South. We first met Chubby at La Poussière, The Dust, a dance hall in the town of Breaux Bridge. He remembers when black bands and patrons weren't allowed in. I wonder if you thought about what your dad and your grandpa would have been thinking watching you play this venue where they wouldn't have been playing.
I mean, we can't even step in that club. Like, Daddy and my grandfather, I want to say this. They fought the fight for us, man. Daddy and Granddaddy is in heaven looking down going, my son is playing at a white venue that I never thought in a million years that I would ever see. But how good it is, how sweet it is, huh?
Today, the Cajun and Zydeco crowd overlap like never before. The music has found new audiences with new sensibilities.
So you got the doo-doo-pop, doo-doo-pop, it feels like a train moving, and that's why.
Like virtually all the musicians we interviewed, Little Nate Williams has seen a surge in popularity. Last year, his streaming audience jumped by, get this, more than 3,000%. How do you describe your style of Zydeco? It's not traditional, is it?
Very much not traditional, man. It's a fusion. That's how I think of it. Keyboards, synthesizers, a lot of R&B, a lot of R&B.
Nate learned to play from his father, also a renowned Zydeco musician. And he's found pushing musical boundaries is not always frictionless. What's Dad say about this?
My dad has always been encouraging. But I could see his face sometimes, you know. We'll sit down in the studio. He'll look at me and listening to my stuff. Can we put some more accordion in there? Can we put some more French in there? Can we put this in there? But at the end of the day, you know, we come to some compromising, understanding that this is you, this is me.
And the music has struck a chord beyond Louisiana. Jordan's band tours across the country and internationally. We met Jordan, Joel, and Wilson after they'd played a packed show in the Red Hook neighborhood of Brooklyn, of all places. The band, like us, ponders what precisely is fueling this interest outside Louisiana. They don't speak French. They're not getting the lyrics. What are they connecting to?
I wonder that all the time.
I really just believe it's the emotion. If we playing and I'm happy, you can see and feel that good time, you're gonna feel that good time. Same thing, if the song's horribly sad, maybe it makes you feel a little sadness inside of you, and you connect on that emotional level.
Emotional connection to a sound that, like the accordion itself, can contract and expand. Old melodies in a new era.
True music, it's emotive. You're gonna feel it, and that's sure. Everybody wants to feel something.
The stopwatch has long been the symbol of 60 minutes, but any measure of time is pointless for the subject of our next story, the slow-moving sloth. You might think these distant relatives of the armadillo would make the perfect meal for just about anything faster, and yet somehow sloths have been hanging on in one form or another for 64 million years. To understand this quirky animal, we hung out with a quirky zoologist. Lucy Cook has been documenting the strange lives of sloths for 15 years. Cook was our guide on a trip to Costa Rica, where scientists are making new discoveries about a creature that's turned survival of the fittest upside down.
This is an area where there are lots of sloths, so that we have that on our side.
The first thing we learned about sloths is that it's hard to spot them in the wild. We were warned to keep our eyes on the ground for poisonous snakes, as Lucy Cook scanned the treetops. The sloth is a master of disguise. It blends into the canopy and can easily be mistaken for a tuft of leaves.
They tend to hunker down when it rains, so making it even harder to see them.
Our luck improved on the beach.
Oh, there's one up there. She's in the nook of the tree looking a bit like a termite hump, and she's hunched over, so what we're looking at is her back.
That is not the side of the sloth we went all the way to Central America to see. So Lucy Cook took us to an animal sanctuary to get a better view of the two species of sloth that live here, the bradipus and the two-toed.
So the two-toed, I always say, look like a cross between a Wookiee and a pig, because they've got that sort of beepable nose.
Yeah.
And then these ones have the sort of, Beatles haircuts and Mona Lisa smiles.
Behind that ringer for Ringo, Cook says, is a secret. Being nature's couch potato is the reason sloths have survived for more than 60 million years in spite of, well, themselves. Their eyesight is lousy, their hearing not much better. In a tree, they can move like a Tai Chi master to avoid the eyes of hungry birds of prey. But on the ground, Cook says gravity removes any shred of dignity. Even with a hurricane-strength tailwind, a sloth will top out at a half-mile per hour.
The first people that described the sloths, the conquistadors that first observed them, they said terrible things. One said it was the stupidest animal that he'd ever seen, and another said one more defect would have made its life impossible, and they just didn't understand them,
Cook says what those early explorers didn't understand, and what is frankly hard to believe when you watch the effort it takes for a sloth just to blink, is that this hairy ninja is uniquely built to survive.
Why so slow? Why do they move so slow? Because they're saving energy. They're vegetarians, and leaves don't want to be eaten any more than antelope do, right? So they create a lot of toxins. So the sloth can digest those toxins, but only very, very slowly. They don't want to process them fast, and so they're all about burning as little energy as possible.
Sloths spend about 90% of their lives hanging upside down, and typically only climb to the ground for bathroom breaks once a week. With habits like that and nails like this, you can understand why they are solitary creatures and prefer to be alone until they don't.
What they do is the females will climb to the top of a tree when they're in heat and scream for sex. So really low key. Really low key. But they scream in D sharp. Okay. Like that's they make this, I'll do it, and he may well, on the strength of my impersonation, let's see if Teddy, who's a boy, he swipes right. Okay, yeah, exactly. Let's just see if he goes, okay, I'm gonna do it. I've actually seen bradypuses having sex. It's the only thing they do quickly. I mean, I was shocked. But then afterwards, both male and female retreated and had the deepest snooze.
Behind Lucy Cook's cheeky sense of humor is a hefty resume. She has a master's degree from Oxford and published 4 books, including 2 on sloths. She's also hosted wildlife programs for the BBC and National Geographic. The photos Cook takes on her expeditions have gone viral, leading to donations for conservation and crowds at lectures that mix biology with stand-up.
We humans are obsessed with speed. We idolize animals like the cheetah, capable of doing 0 to 60 in 3 seconds flat. Well, so what?
Are they cute or are they so ugly they're cute?
Oh, no, they're cute, surely. But then, I think a naked mole rat's cute, so you're asking the wrong person.
You like a B-list animal.
Yeah. Bats, hyenas. There's like a whole list of animals that I think, just have extraordinarily strange and wonderful lives and just, to me, just add to the richness of the universe.
Just look how one of those B-list animals can leave Lucy Cook starstruck.
You guys have got to see this!
As we were making our way through the Costa Rican rainforest, Cook noticed this. What looks like fluffy golf balls, she realized was a cluster of something we'd never heard of.
Come and have a look, Sharyn.
the elusive Caribbean white tent-making bats.
Look, they're bats, but they're white, and they live in these leaves. Like my heart rate's gone right up. I'm going to start pouring in sweat, and I might start crying actually, because it's just so. I mean, it's just a miracle of evolution. I mean, it's just why? Like why?
That sense of wonder,
that's about as exciting as it gets,
has made Lucy Cook a compelling advocate for sloths. Like them, she looks at the world from a different point of view.
Your latest book is called
Bitch. On the. I do apologize. I really like you and your work, but yeah, my book's called Bitch.
In it, Cook challenges the narrative that in the animal kingdom, males are usually dominant and promiscuous, while females are submissive and monogamous. She traveled the world to collaborate with scientists and study dozens of animals, reporting how killer whale pods are led by postmenopausal orcas and how tyrannical matriarchs control meerkat society. Her re-examination flips parts of Charles Darwin's theories upside down.
Charles Darwin's a hero of mine. I studied evolutionary biology, but he was a Victorian man. And so when he came to brand the female of the species, she came out in the shape of a Victorian housewife. Passive, coy, chaste. You know, we were sort of a feminine footnote to the macho main event, basically.
I can hear people saying, is this biological wokeness?
Well, it would be if it wasn't true. So you just have to ask the hyena, for example, the female spotted hyena, if she's passive and coy, and she'll laugh in your face after she's bitten it off. You know, it's like...
Challenging conventional wisdom is a large part of Lucy Cook's crusade to improve the reputation of sloths. But there is a more somber kind of rehabilitation she wanted to show us. This is the Toucan Rescue Ranch near Costa Rica's capital, San Jose.
So sloths are incredibly strong.
They care for sloths nearly killed by power lines.
How are the sloths injured?
So most of the time it's through electrocution, where it'll just look like this straight vine, you know, going through the forest. And so they'll grab a hold of that and then become electrocuted.
Lesley Stahl was an occupational therapist who started the ranch 19 years ago. Now she has a team of 6 veterinarians to treat the electrical burns. Millions of years of evolution could not prepare the sloths for human sprawl. But the vets told us they believe the sloth's slow metabolism somehow allows them to recover from injuries that might kill other creatures. The Toucan Rescue Ranch also takes in orphans.
This is little Geo, and this is Marilyn. And then we have Landon here.
Oh, he's a toddler?
He's a toddler. And this is our tiniest little Benji.
Okay, now my ovaries have cracked.
It can take up to 2 years for the orphans to be ready to go back into the wild. We watched as a female named Nasara was prepared for release. She was given a final checkup and a tracking collar before getting a lift to a promising tree.
Off she goes. And if she falls asleep in the middle of the release, is that a bad thing?
There she goes.
Oh, it's a scary moment. Oh. Mission Impossible has nothing on this. Like,
woohoo! With that high drama behind us, we headed down the Caribbean coast with Lucy Cook to visit another British scientist. Becky Cliff is conducting the first population study of sloths ever. That might seem like low-hanging fruit. It is not.
Why is it so hard to get scientific data on sloths?
They've evolved over the last 64 million years to be masters of disguise, right? They are so good at pretending to be coconuts and bird nests, then they're hiding from the very people who are trying to help them.
Neither of the sloth species in Costa Rica is officially considered endangered. But Cliff says her staff is suddenly seeing fewer sloths, and some are suffering from an illness she suspects may be related to climate change.
We're getting extreme periods of hot, dry weather, and then extreme periods of prolonged cold and rain. And that is not what sloths have evolved to survive in. What we're discovering is that the microbes in the sloth's stomach that they use to digest the leaves they eat, when the sloth gets too cold, those microbes die. So even though the sloth might be eating and looking well, it's not digesting its food properly. So they're losing energy and they're getting very weak.
It sounds like they're starving to death, but with a full stomach.
That's exactly it. It's a really strange phenomenon that I think only happens in sloths, but it's happening here.
For Cliff to collect data, she has to collect sloths.
Which branch is she?
That's the full-time job for her colleague, Debar Leon. He climbed barefoot up a 3-story high tree covered in biting ants, snatching the sloth, then lowering it in a bag.
Come on, little one. Hi. That's impressive. So do you have to do that every time you want to get a sloth
And
down?
this is easy, yeah.
The stuffed sloth she's holding is not a gimmick. It was used to comfort the real one, as we helped replace a memory chip in a tiny backpack the sloth wears.
Oh, you're very strong.
Very strong. And then lean her back a little bit. Come on, sweetie.
I'm going to clip those little things up. This is like dressing a baby.
Yeah. Done. Wham bam.
What kind of information does this give you?
We collect a lot of manual data in terms of what type of tree she's in, how high in the tree she is. There's also a data logger inside here, which collects a lot of information about her behavior. So even her micro body movements are being recorded inside there.
There we go. Yeah, that's a girl.
32 sloths will get backpacks and be returned slowly to the wild. Lucy Cook told us she hopes this study will provide a deeper understanding of an animal we can be too quick to judge.
What can we learn from the sloth?
We can learn how to be more slow and sustainable ourselves because we need to. You know, we're destroying this planet at an alarming rate. And part of that is because of our addiction to speed and convenience. So if we took a few carefully, slowly digested leaves out of the sloth's book, you know, we might save this beautiful planet and all of the amazing creatures that live on it.